Welcome back to my fall sourdough series. I'll be posting a new recipe each week, so you'll have plenty of recipes to bake this fall season. Today we're baking a cozy seasonal favorite, a pumpkin cream cheese Danish. It's filled with a pumpkin and cream cheese filling and finished with a light cinnamon crumble. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's spend a little time baking together. You will start by adding 200 grams of active sourdough starter to your bowl with 200 grams of warm milk and 80 grams of unsalted melted butter. I melted the butter and warmed up the milk in the same pot, so I added those two together. And then I add 70 grams of sugar, and you want to mix everything together until well combined. Now you add 8 grams of salt and 5 grams of vanilla extract. I like to give everything a quick little mix, and then I add 2 whole eggs and I mix everything together again. You can also do this in a stand mixer. It'll be way easier if that's what you prefer. Mine recently broke, but you can definitely get it done without one. Now you add 530 grams of flour and mix everything together once again until there are no pockets of flour left over. This is a pretty rich dough with all the eggs and the butter, so the dough is going to be pretty sticky. So I like to go in there with my hands and I knead it for about 5 minutes. I do some slap and folds, I mix it around. And then I grab my rubber bench scraper as always and I clean the sides of my bowl. I also go underneath the dough just to make sure that there are no dry bits of flour. That way everything is well hydrated. Once I have everything clean from the bowl, I like to grab the dough once again and kind of try to shape it into a little ball. And then I let this dough rest for 5 to 10 minutes. That way I can come back and do one set of coil folds. You're going to gently grab the dough and kind of fold it into itself. And you do this just a little bit and you can see that the dough smoothens out a lot. Now you let your dough bulk ferment on the counter for a few hours, and then when it feels nice and fluffy and aerated, you want to weigh out your dough balls into 100 grams each. I got about 12. The last one was a little bit short. It was like 92, 93 grams, but you can't even tell the difference. So I like to shape them 100 grams because it gives me a decent like big size and it's not too small, which I like. And then once I have weighed everything, I go ahead and pinch the dough towards the center to make a tight little ball. And then I do circular motions on my mat. And then once it's nice and tight, I do the same thing to every single dough ball. Again, grabbing it, pinching it, giving it some surface tension. And then I do circular motions on my mat. Now that you have your 12 little dough balls, you want to go ahead and grab your baking sheet and put some parchment paper on it. And then you want to put all of the little dough balls on top. That way they can do their second rise already on the baking pan, and all you have to do is transfer it to the oven. So I like to squish the dough balls down kind of flat, and I let them rise for about 2 hours. At this point, you want to do your cream cheese filling. You want to use 1 stick of cream cheese that is at room temperature, and you want to whisk it until smooth. Now you add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of milk, and then you want to mix everything together. You want to whisk it until everything is smooth and fluffy. Now you add about 25 grams of pumpkin puree. If you want a stronger pumpkin flavor, you can add about 50 grams if you'd like. I added just 25 and I feel like it gave it the perfect hint of pumpkin. And then you want to mix everything together and add 2 grams of pumpkin spice to this mixture, and it'll give it an extra pop of pumpkin flavor. This recipe has a lot of ingredients, so I am going to put everything in the description, from the Danish recipe, the cream cheese filling recipe, and the crumble recipe. That way you can go ahead and screenshot it. After the 2 hours, I grab a half a cup measure and I use it to flatten out the center of the dough. This is a bit tricky. You want to wet or oil the bottom of this measuring cup. That way it doesn't stick too much to the dough. You can see that it kind of sticks to the bottom of it, but just peel it gently and you'll be able to get it done. For the crumble, you want to add half a cup of flour, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You mix everything together until you get like a damp dirt consistency. And then you want to start filling up your little danishes with the cream cheese filling, making sure that every part of the little hole has some of the cream cheese. And then you want to do an egg wash on the edges of the Danish. That way it can give it that shiny, beautiful look to it. And then on top of the egg wash, that's when you'll put the crumble. You can add way more crumble than what I added. It's up to you. I decided to add just a little hint. That way it doesn't overpower the cream cheese center, which is really, really good. This is what your danishes should look like, and then you preheat your oven to 375 degrees and you bake these for 25 minutes. And this is the end result. They're super soft and fluffy. They're so flavorful. If you put them in the refrigerator after the first day and you want to warm them up, just preheat your oven to 350 degrees and leave them in there for about 5 minutes at most, and they get super soft as if they were just baked. Look at how beautiful. These are perfect. I think I'm going to be making these for Thanksgiving and for Friendsgiving. Look at the crumb. Look at the inside. It's super soft and fluffy. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.